Hello and welcome. I'm Cheryl. Thanks for joining me. This is Your Journey Yoga. Thanks for stopping by my channel. I hope you love it, and I hope you love all of the content that there is for you to take advantage of to help just feel better, be stronger, stand taller, sleep better, all of that good stuff to just live a happier, healthier life, guys. That's my wish for you. So thanks for being here today. Mobility and flexibility in our joints, so important. So we're going to work through that. We're going to have a little bit of movement in the stretches. We're going to really tune in and listen to how the body is responding while we're in those stretches, and adjusting however you need to. So props, if you'd like them, you absolutely do not need them, but yes, you can use them if you like. And we're going to start in a seated position. Let's cross those legs however it feels good to you. If it's better for you to have those legs long, absolutely, you can extend those legs out. I just want you to sit up as tall as you can sit. And we're going to roll those shoulders. And then let those shoulders just gently slide down and away. Big shoulder roll. So a lot of times what limits our mobility and flexibility can come from stress. We want to de-stress. We want to let it go. Let's do 2 more of those shoulder rolls. And we do a lot of shoulder rolls from front to back, opening up that chest, just because there is so much gravitational pull of our body forward, and we already get that kind of concave through the chest. Last one. So we really want to open up that chest. Oh, so nice. Bring your hands down by your hips. Sit up as tall as you can sit, and we're just going to get a range of motion. Little flexibility as we turn and take our gaze out over that right shoulder, holding that rotation, and then we're going to nod our head 3 times. Listening to how the body responds, so this is not super fast. It's a gentle tuck and lift. Coming back to that neutral spine and slowly turn back to center. And we turn and take our gaze out over that left shoulder. So range, how is it on this side? Even or a little different than the other? A little nod, yes and no. Slow and steady, listening to your body. Letting go of tension, releasing those entanglements of the fascia, and back to that neutral. Turn it back to face front, and let's lean that head to the right. A little turn of the chin down towards your collarbone, and then ear back towards the shoulder. Breathe. So a little no motion as you turn. 1 more time. Chin down towards the collarbone and back ear to shoulder, and lift that head. And then gently release left ear towards that left shoulder. And again, that no motion, just turn and chin down towards the collarbone and then back to face front. Chin towards the collarbone, back to face front. 1 more time. Oh my goodness, my neck needed this. Back towards the collarbone, and then back to face front. And we rise. Inhale, reach to the sky, spread your fingers wide, and exhale, pull those elbows back. Can you touch your elbows behind you? Probably not, but reach for it. Inhale, reach, and exhale, pull. Crown of the head reaching towards the sky. Inhale, reach, and pull, activating those muscles through that upper and middle back, through those lats. 1 more time. Inhale, reach, and pull. And release those arms. Let's walk it forward. So flexibility, mobility, a little different, similar yet different. So the ease of the movements, the range of motion in the joints. So not necessarily how deep you can get into things, but just the efficiency of that movement. Do we have limitations in those joints? Is that limitation mechanical, stress, fascia? So lots of different things. Is there inflammation in those joints? So it's really learning about your body. Let's lift just slightly and walk the hands forward. Releasing the weight of the upper body back down. And let's open up those arms out to a T, and we're going to lift the palms of the hands, spread your fingers wide, and come up to the pads of the fingers. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, we're going to hollow the tummy and chest, lift your spine towards the sky, tuck your chin, and then gently release it down. Exhale, lift, hollow the tummy and chest. Inhale and release it down. So flattening out that back as we come down, and then exhaling, hollowing. Space between the vertebrae, stretching down the spine. Inhale it back to that neutral, and exhale, hollow. And release. Once again, extend those arms out in front, and see if you can nestle that upper body down even deeper. Lower back starting to let go. So noticing the flexibility starts to get a little deeper. Body can get in a little bit more range of motion as that mobility eases. Inhale, circle the hands back by the hips. Big circle of those arms up and overhead. And releasing that right hand down, left arm up and over. Inhale it up, keep that right hand down, and exhale, take it back up and over. Inhale, reach, keeping that right hand down 2 more times. Exhale it over, gluing that left sit bone to the earth. Inhale, reach it up. 1 more time, this time a little deeper. Oh, really nice stretch. Coming down onto that right forearm. If that feels okay to you, press that left hip, that left sit bone towards the earth, and then roll that left shoulder back as you turn your gaze towards the sky. Now keep that left arm rolled back and turn your head towards the mat. And then once again, turn your face up towards the sky. Make sure you roll that left shoulder back. Keep that left shoulder back. Turn your gaze down towards the mat. And we lift that gaze back towards the sky. 1 more time, gaze down towards the mat. Hold that. Circle that left arm around behind your back. Forearm along the small of the back. Tucking the chin down towards that right collarbone and just feel that really nice stretch all through the neck, through the front of the shoulder. Circling that left arm back up and over. And we rise. Both arms come up. Exhale, release that left hand down. Right arm up and over. And we're just going to sway just to the left. Inhaling it back up. Left hand stays down. And exhale, reach it up and over. So just noticing the range as you lower and as you rise. What are you feeling and where? Gluing that right sit bone down towards the earth. We're going to do that 1 more time. Really nice stretch through the ribs and the waist. And inhale it back up. 1 more time. This time we're going to take it a little bit lower. And if it feels right to you, come down onto that left forearm. Right sit bone pressing towards the earth. We turn and take our gaze to the sky as we roll that right shoulder back even more. Should feel this incredible stretch all the way down that right side. Take your gaze to the sky, and as you exhale, turn your gaze down towards the mat. Inhale, lift your gaze towards the sky. Make sure that right shoulder's rolled back. And exhale, turn your gaze down towards the mat. We're going to do that 2 more times. Just work in range of motion, flexibility for the neck. Each time we come back, can we go a little deeper? Maybe so, maybe not. Listen to your body. This time we're going to take that gaze down towards the mat. Hold it there. Tuck your chin towards your chest. And let's circle that right arm around behind the back. Forearm along the small of the back, keeping that chin down towards that left collarbone. And just reach with that right hand as far as you can, feeling that awesome stretch all through the neck, through the front of that right shoulder. Breathe. And we circle that right arm back up and over. And we rise all the way back up. Sitting nice and tall, bringing the hands to the shins just below those knees. Take a big breath in, press the chest forward, arch your back, gaze to the sky. Exhale, hollow tummy and chest. Press your spine towards the back. Tuck your chin. Inhale, press it through, arch your back, gaze to the sky. Seated cat and cow. Exhale and hollow. Inhale, reach. So take as much time as you need, but work with that breath. Exhale and hollow. Inhale it up to the nice neutral spine. Inhale, reach to the sky. And as you exhale, rotate to the right. Tap your fingertips. Inhale, reach to the sky. Come back to center. Exhale, rotate. Tap your fingertips. Inhale, reach to the sky. So just mobility here. How far can you twist? How far can you reach? How tall can you sit? Aware of how the body's responding. Are you feeling tension in those hips? Is there limitations in the back today? How's the neck doing? So it's always about checking in one more time, taking it to the left. Now this time, as we come back to the right, we're going to hold it. Inhale to center and exhale, turn to the right. Place that left hand to the top of the right thigh, right hand behind you, and sit up as tall as you can. So here, range of motion. We're going to deepen it if that flexibility allows. As you turn and take your gaze out over that right shoulder, using that left hand to pull. Oh, making sure that we're not leaning back onto that right hand, that we're not hollowing the tummy and chest, but we're staying nice and tall. Really feel that length, and then a little tuck of your chin. Just a little bonus stretch here through the neck and the shoulder, and then press that left shoulder down and away. Spinal flexibility, you guys, so important. Keeping that spine young and healthy. Gentle, mindful, kind movements. Inhale, reach to the sky, and then turn back to face front, and we rotate to the left. Right hand to the top of that left thigh, left hand behind you. Sit up as tall as you can sit, and then turn and take your gaze out over that back shoulder. So I want you to first be really mindful of the length of your spine. Are you sitting up really tall? Are you leaning back? If so, sit up tall. Just propping with those left fingertips to help you sit up taller. Turning and taking your gaze out over that left shoulder, using that right hand to pull your body around. But we want to make sure that we're keeping space between those vertebrae as we rotate. A little tuck of your chin down towards that left collarbone, and a gentle press of that right shoulder down and away from your ear. Breathe. Lots of stuff going on here. And gently release, coming back to center. Let's do 2 more cat and cows. Inhale, press it through, arch your back, gaze to the sky. And as you exhale, hollow. Inhale, press it through, arch your back, gaze to the sky. And exhale, hollow. Inhale up to neutral. And let's come forward, up onto all fours. So however you safely need to come up to all fours. Wrists are right below those shoulders. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Core strong. Breathe. And let's just wag those hips side to side. So a little hip mobility. Just checking in with those hip joints, the lower back, keeping that core strong. We're lifting out of the shoulders, staying strong through the arms and strong through those shoulders. Let's come back to center. Open up those knees. Take a giant step forward with each hand, and we're going to press it back. Extended child's pose, and then inhale it up. Coming forward to a plank, but a wide-legged plank. And press it back. Extended child's pose. Inhaling it up, and if you will, extended plank. So those knees are out wide. Do you feel that stretch in those hips? Yes, indeed. And press it back to child's pose. One more time. Inhaling it up. Nice wide legs. Breathe. And press it back to child's pose. We're going to inhale up just enough to bring those knees together and sit it back to child's pose. So we're going to work some mobility through the shoulders and those hips. Arms extended out nice and long. We're going to inhale it up to a modified high plank. Shoulders right over the fingertips, lengthening through the crown of the head, just strong through that modified plank. And then exhale, glue your hands where they are. Sit it back to child's pose. And flow with your breath. Inhaling it up to that modified plank. Exhaling it back to child's pose. Inhaling it up to that modified plank. Now this time, allow those hips to gently fall towards the mat as you lift your gaze towards the sky, stretching through the front of the body. Mobility through that back. Articulating each vertebra, core strong. Slowly rise and press it back to child's pose. We inhale it up to that modified plank. And as you exhale, gently bring those hips down towards the earth. Lift your gaze towards the sky. Cobra. And core strong. We press it back to child's pose. Let's do that one more time. Inhale it up to that modified plank. As you exhale, let those hips gently work towards the ground as you lift your gaze to the sky, arching through the back, rolling those shoulders back. We hold here for just a moment. Breathe, our King Cobra. You're only coming as deeply as feels good to you, keeping those hips higher if they need to be. As you exhale, lift and press it back. Our child's pose. Find your breath. And let's slowly walk those hands back under those shoulders. Spread your fingers wide, tuck your toes, feet are hip width apart, and let's lift the knees just an inch off of the mat. As those toes press into the mat, feel that stretch to the arch of the foot, that nice stretch through the ankle, through the calf, power and strength in the core and those shoulders. Breathe, take a big breath in, and as you exhale, extend the legs. Shift your weight back towards your heels. A little bit narrower stance for our down dog here than we would traditionally be, which is absolutely fine. That's where we want to be, because as we inhale, we're going to come back to that hovering tabletop. Breathe, shoulders over the fingertips, knees just barely off the mat. And then as you exhale, press it back. Heels to the mat, legs long, head heavy. So who thinks about mobility in those toes? Inhaling it back. I do. So stretching those toes, those arches of the feet. Oh my goodness, the ankles. Those feet do so much work for us, you guys. And then as you exhale, press it back. So showing them a little bit of love. Let's rock back to the heels, and can you lift your toes? That's going to deepen stretch down the backs of the legs. If those heels don't want to come down to the mat, guys, it's okay. And then gently release your toes, take the gaze between your hands and walk your feet in. And we're going to heel toe those feet open. A little bit wider than the width of your hips, bending those knees, bringing the hands to the mat. Shift your weight to your heels, and as you inhale, slowly begin to lower your bottom, bending those knees, lowering down as low as feels good to you at this point. Breathe. No need to go crazy. We're going to work our way down to that deeper stretch. As you exhale, extend the legs. Bring the hands to the elbows, hold on, and just gently sway side to side. Maybe touching the elbows to the insides of the ankles, but you certainly do not have to. Just make that sway as big as you like. And then we come back to center, releasing those hands, core strong. Shift your weight to your heels. Slowly bend your knees with your inhale. Sinking maybe a little bit deeper, or just coming back to where it feels right to you. Opening up those knees, pressing through the outer edge of your foot. And as you exhale, slowly extend those legs. Bring the hands to the elbows, hold on, and gently sway side to side. What do you feel? Coming back to center, release your arms. And once again, as you inhale, bend those knees. Maybe the bottom comes a little bit lower. Maybe that chest starts to lift a little bit. Still supporting with those hands. And as you exhale, press through the heels and extend those legs. This time, let's bring those hands behind the back, interlacing your fingers. Rolling those shoulders up and back, lifting your hands towards the sky. A little tuck of your chin up towards the chest. Breathe. A soft bend in your right knee. And exhale, extend. Inhale, a soft bend in that left knee. And extend. One more time each side. Right knee, slight bend. And I say slight, so it's just a little bend. Shifting that weight. And once again to the left. And back we go to center. Releasing your hands to the small of the back. Releasing those hands towards the mat. Shift your weight to your heels. And slowly lower down. Now this time we're going to come into that lowest spot. So wherever that feels good to you. So maybe it's a yogi squat, maybe you're still in frog pose, it's absolutely fine. Lifting those hands to heart center if that feels good to you, and a gentle press of those elbows to the insides of your knees. And I want you to rock side to side. What are you feeling? If you're like, I don't want to rock, body's not ready to rock, it's okay. So you can have kind of a little free flow of movement here. Coming back to center. As you inhale, a little lift of your bum. And then as you exhale, draw that pelvis through, lift the chest. A little inhale, lift your bum. And exhale, pull it through. Inhale, lift the bum so your hands can be there for support or at heart center. And back we go. Where's the weight in your feet? Probably in the arch of your foot. If you're like 99% of the population. It's all good, guys. Press it to the outer edge of your foot. That's going to deepen that stretch. Find your breath, release your hands, and ever so slowly extend those legs all the way up. And let's heel toe those feet towards one another to hip width apart, relaxing the weight of the upper body down, soft bend in your knees. Nice stretch to the lower back. Great stretch to the hamstrings and the calves. And slowly let's roll it up. One vertebra stacking on top of the other at a time. With a big shoulder roll at the top. Shoulders slide down and away. One more time, big shoulder roll up and back. Shoulders slide down and away. Let's pull those hands to heart center and shift our weight to our left foot. We're going to lift that right knee so the big toe just barely touches the earth. So we're going to add some movement here, opening that right knee out to the right, and then once again closing it straight ahead. Open out to the right, and once again back to straight ahead. One more time. Open that right leg out, and then back to center. Now lifting that knee if that feels okay to you. Flex your foot. And again, open out to the side, and back to neutral. Open out to the side and back to neutral. One more time. Take it out to the side and back to neutral. Now we're just going to make a big circle. In to out with that right knee. So we're challenging our balance, and you can make that circle as big as you want it to. So extending and then bending, extending and then bending, lowering the knee and lifting the knee. Let's take it to the other side. In to out. So really working the head of that femur, that ball and socket joint of the hip joint one more time. And back to center. And release. Shift your weight to your right foot. Left knee bends, big toe just barely touching. And we open that left knee and close back to neutral. Open. And back to center. Open. And back to center. One more time. Open and back to center. Core strong. We lift that left knee to 90 degrees and flex the foot. And again, we're going to open that leg out to the side. So range of motion, having to do with flexibility. Okay, does the flexibility improve as you work through this and improving that mobility, the body figuring out an efficient way to move? Coming back to center, and as we add that movement, yeah, it's a lot more challenging for the balance. We make that big circle, in to out, making it as big as you like, grounded and solid into that right leg. One more time, in to out, and then we're going to go out to in. Opening and closing. And again, you can straighten that leg, extending through the joint. And then once again, that flex. One more time. Back to neutral. And release. Nice job. A little alternate. Knee bend. It's a lot of work through those hips. Core strong, feet hip width apart. Roll those shoulders up and back. And shoulders slide down and away. Inhale, reach to the sky. And exhale, circle those arms around behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Roll those shoulders back. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, arch it back. Gaze to the sky. Gentle. Kind. Inhaling it up nice and tall. Core strong. Hinge it forward. Hinging from the hips. Bending those knees just slightly so we don't hyperextend. Roll those shoulders and lift your hands towards the sky. So maybe the first time we keep those hands resting on the small of the back. Slowly bring the hands to the small of the back. We lengthen through the crown of the head, core strong, or you can roll it up or hinge it up. And once again, as you exhale, arch it back. Reach those knuckles towards the ground. Inhaling up nice and tall, core strong. Hinge it forward. So we've got 3 of these. This is 2. As you come forward, noticing that stretch through the backs of the legs. Maybe it's a little less intense. Roll those shoulders up and back, and if it feels right, lift those arms. A little tuck of your chin up towards the chest. Slowly bringing the hands back to the small of the back. Lengthen through the crown of the head or roll it up. Option is to hinge it up for more intensity. Last time, as you exhale, arch it back. Reach those knuckles towards the ground. Lift your gaze towards the sky. Inhaling it up nice and tall, core strong. Hinge it forward. Breathe. Coming into our forward fold. How are those hamstrings and calves? Roll those shoulders up and back, and if you like, lift the arms. How about those shoulders? Are they cooperating a little bit more? Flexibility improving. Mobility a little more natural. Slowly bring your hands to the small of the back. Gently releasing those arms. Let them hang. Inhale up to monkey half lift. Exhale down, walk, step, or hop to high plank. Toes or knees, crocodile down. Press it through, up dog. And exhale to down dog. We shift our weight to our left foot, right toes to the sky. Exhaling and sweeping that right knee through, foot to the inside, we come to our pigeon pose. Untucking the back toes. Breathe. So you're welcome to put a block underneath that right hip. And you're welcome to bend that back knee if that's better for you, taking care of those knees. And if it feels good to you, rock side to side. Playing with it just a little bit. That flexibility and mobility through the hip. Flexibility in that lower back. So if it's not great for you guys, lower back says, hey, I need a little extra love. Don't want to push the flexibility. I want to focus on my hip. Bring those hands forward. Breathe. Coming back to center. Let's inhale and squeeze every muscle in that lower body. Feel yourself lift up just a little bit. And then exhale. Let yourself sink. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, squeeze. And exhale, sink. You should really feel kind of a significant lift as you squeeze. Squeeze those buns, squeeze the core, squeeze those quads, and release. Breathe. And let's walk it forward to sleeping pigeon. Stacking the hands, forehead to the back of the hands. And just let your body sink. So we again are going to work mobility and flexibility through the hip, even more so than we are right now. Adding some functional movement. Actually coming up to a kneeling position from here. Let's walk those hands back up. Come over onto your right hip. Now you might need your hands, you might not. If you can, do it without. We're going to sweep that left foot around, bring it forward just a bit, knee is slightly bent. We use our body weight to transition. This is a lot of core and a lot of hip mobility through that right hip. Slowly sit it back. Sweep that left leg around to a Z position so that back knee is bent. And then sweep it forward, left foot out in front. We shift and rise. Once again, sit it back. Sweep that left leg back around. You can come to a full pigeon if you like, or that Z position. We sweep that left leg around, out in front, and come forward to a kneeling position. Now let's go ahead and open, slide it, so hand down, and go ahead and slide that right foot back a bit, straightening that front leg, or the right leg. Breathe. So we're leaning in. We can have both hands on the thigh, or you can keep that right hand to the mat. You decide what's right for you. Inhale, straighten that front leg a little bit, and exhale, sink. Deeper stretch all through that right leg. Hip flexors. Inhale, straighten, and exhale, sink. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, straighten, and exhale, sink. Left hand to that left thigh, right arm reaches out and up and over. So keeping that weight, pressing forward. Oh my goodness, such a good stretch all the way down that front side of the body. Inhaling it back up, pulling that left foot in, closing that right foot behind you, and once again sitting it back. Sweeping that left leg around to our pigeon pose. We tuck the toes, lift the hips, sweep it back, and extend. Right leg to the sky. And gently release it down to down dog. And we shift our weight to our right foot, left toes to the sky. Exhaling and sweeping that left knee through, foot to the inside, to our pigeon pose on the left side. And again, that right leg is behind us nice and long, and we're just going to alternate rocking side to side, checking in, breathing, being nice, noticing if there's limitations and where they are, how the body actually feels. Coming back to center. So when we find those spots that have a little more tension, focus your breath there. As you inhale, squeeze every muscle in that lower body. Feel yourself lift, and then exhale, sink. Inhale, squeeze, and exhale, sink. Inhale, squeeze, and exhale, sink. Find that breath, and let's walk it forward, stacking those hands out in front, and just letting that upper body be heavy. Kindness, love, into the hip, into that lower back, wherever it might be that you need it. So we're going to add that functional movement. It can be very challenging, you guys. And we do multiples of these so that the first time your body's like, what the heck do you want me to do? The second one, your body's going, oh, okay, I think I might have gotten this. Third and fourth time, much easier, much more efficient. Your body is so smart and adaptable and figuring things out. Let's slowly walk those hands back up. We're going to come over onto that left hip, and we're going to draw that right leg around. So again, if you need your hands, use them. If you don't use them. That right leg comes forward, slight bend in your knee. Core strong, hip mobility. We rise. So lots of mobility going on through that left hip. That left foot stays in, so it's out of your way, so you're not going to sit on it. Coming back, sweep it around either to that letter Z or to your full pigeon. We sweep that right foot around in front. Transition forward and rise, sit it back, sweep it around to that Z or pigeon. Here's number 3. How's the body figuring it out? How you doing? Better? Is it easy? Is it really challenging? If so, where and why? So getting to know kind of the limitations of that body, you guys, oh my gosh, what great knowledge coming forward. So we're going to stay up on this one. We're going to open up and bring that left leg straight behind us, taking a giant slide back or step forward, whichever you need to do, and go ahead and let those hips come forward. Breathe. Inhale, straighten, and exhale, sink. Inhale, straighten, and exhale, sink. One more time. Inhale, straighten, and exhale, sink. Stay low. Place that right hand to the top of the thigh. Left arm extends out and up. Yes, as you reach back with the hand and you press forward with those hips, this beautiful stretch all the way down that left side. Inhaling it up nice and tall. Hands on either side of your foot. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, sweep it back, and extend. Right leg to the sky. And gently release it down to down dog. We inhale it to high plank, releasing the knees to the mat if you like, or keeping strong on the toes. Lower those hips. Slow and steady. Strengthening through the shoulders, through the core, adding flexibility and mobility with that spine, only as low as feels good to you. Core strong, level it back out to plank. Lift your hips to down dog. We're going to do that 2 more times. It's pretty intense, you guys. So really making sure that those core muscles are engaged. We inhale it to plank. You are welcome to come down onto your knees or remain on those toes and lower those hips. Lift your gaze. Breathe. Core back or core strong. We come back to plank and lift those hips. We're going to do that 1 more time. Inhale, plank. Toes or knees, core strong. Lower those hips. So just a different variation of our King Cobra. Stretching all through the front of the body. Leveling back out to plank. Release your knees and sit it back to child's pose. That's a lot through that lower back, so just give yourself a moment. Inhale, lift just slightly, walk your hands to the left, reach to your right fingertips as far as you can reach, and then press your right hip out to the right as you lower the forehead towards the mat. Stretching through that lower region, that lower back on that right side. Inhale, lift, walk it back through center, and then over to the right. Reach to your left fingertips as far as you can reach, and then press that left hip out to the left as you lower your forehead towards the mat. Breathe. Inhale, lift just slightly, walk your hands back through center, and release the weight of the upper body down. Hopefully that lower back feeling super good. And let's slowly walk the hands back up. Come over onto a hip. Sweep your feet around and go ahead and slide on down towards the top of your mat. Knees are going to be bent, arms are going to extend out, and we're just going to slowly lower back. Take your time. And release your hands down by your sides, pulling that right foot in towards your bottom and then your left. Feet are hip width apart, tucking the pelvis so that the small of the back presses into the mat, and slowly begin to lift your hips towards the sky. Peeling your spine off the floor 1 vertebra at a time. All the way up. Squeeze your buns. Breathe. Now we're going to make fists with our hands, and we're going to slide those hands underneath us, rocking one side and the other, working to get those elbows underneath us. Let your body weight kind of surrender down into those fists, strong through the wrists. Now re-engage core and glutes, and gently release those hands, slowly lowering down. Breathe. Let's open up those feet wider than the width of the hips, even wider than the width of your mat, perhaps. And we're going to slowly rock those knees side to side. Hands are just out of the way. I want you to take a second at that lowest point and just hold it before you transition to the other side. So we're not going to stay for 5 or 6 breaths, but for maybe 1 breath, and then switch. Just checking in through the hip, through the lower back. Again, that range of motion through that hip joint. We come back to neutral, pulling the knees in 1 at a time. And just let those knees be heavy. We're going to bring the hands down by the hips. Turn your palms to face towards one another so that outside of your pinky is resting on the mat. Blades with those hands. We're going to inhale and lift the hands towards the sky and then up overhead. We're going to open the palms to the sky, backs of the hands to the floor. Slowly circle your arms down, turning the palms towards one another about halfway through. And once again, those blades. Lift the fingertips. Thumbs to the mat, backs of the hands to the mat. Slowly circling those arms down like a snow angel. At the bottom, bringing those palms back towards one another. So just a nice natural movement, guys. Don't overthink the hands. Just allowing mobility and movement through the shoulders. Are you noticing any resistance anywhere? Let's do that one more time. Up and overhead. Opening those arms way out to the side. Now we're going to reverse it, because sometimes that lifting as we open and circle the arms overhead can be more challenging, or vice versa. And then slowly lifting those hands towards the sky and then lowering pinkies down. Big circle. Arms sweep overhead, palms towards one another, and then slowly lifting it up. So how does that feel in comparison to going in the opposite direction? Are you noticing anything? I just did at the top where I was like, oh goodness, it kind of caught a little hiccup in my get along, if you will. Slowly lowering. Let's do that one more time. So working to efficiently move through the joint, noticing if there is anything going on and being mindful to take care of. Fingertips towards the sky, and we're going to open the arms out to a T. And then once again, close, palms to touch. Open arms out to a T. One more time, palms to touch. Now palms stay touching. Take those arms up and overhead. Lift the fingertips towards the sky. 2 more times. Arms up and overhead. Can you keep those palms touching, or do they need to separate? And arms overhead. 1 more time. Arms go back up overhead. And lift those fingertips towards the sky. Bring your hands to your shins. Pull those knees in. Rock side to side. So we've done a lot of playing with different joints, guys. The knees, the hips, the shoulders, the neck, the back. How do you feel? Did you notice anything? Did you learn anything about yourself? I hope so. I hope it was fun. I hope it was informative. I hope your body just responded to it in a very, very positive way. We come back to center, placing those feet to the mat, hip width apart, and then heel toe those feet open just a little bit wider than your hips, and allow your knees to gently touch. Hands to your hips. Close your eyes. Adjust however you need to adjust. And breathe. How does that internal rotation through the hip feel? More natural than external? We'll find out in just a second. As you're ready, open those knees, heel toe those feet together, soles of the feet come together, and allow those knees to open. We're not forcing anything. We're letting them open just wherever they're ready to. And we're going to inhale and lift the knees just a little bit. And then exhale, open. Inhale, lift just a little bit. And then exhale it, open. One more time. Inhale, lift just a little bit. And exhale, open. Keep it open and just relax. Allow those heels to kind of find that sweet spot, in close or out further away. We don't want any tension, any pressure in that lower back, so adjust how you need to. Close your eyes and breathe. Let's extend those arms out to a T, and we're going to take that left knee and we're going to bring it up and over, bringing the knees towards one another. And I like to pull my knees up just a little bit towards that right hand, keeping the chest open towards the sky. Breathe. If it feels good to you, turn and take your gaze out towards that left arm. We once again lift our gaze to the sky, pressing those feet down, opening those knees a little bit, and once again opening to our butterfly. And then as you're ready, closing that right knee up and over, pulling those knees up towards that left hand. We turn and take our gaze out over that left arm. So recognizing that your body is not made anatomically the same, right and left side. There are differences, and we must honor those differences because they're part of our journey. Sometimes we can laugh at them, sometimes they get frustrating. Try not to get frustrated. Just know that it is what it is. And as we learn and explore and play, and we work to get rid of those imbalances, it just gets better and better. Slowly we draw those knees to center, gazing towards the sky, bringing the hands behind your thighs. Rock yourself up or safely come up to a seated position once again. And we sit cross-legged or however it feels good to you. Rest your hands comfortably. Palms can be open to the sky, or you can gently rest those palms against you. You can bring your index finger and thumb to touch, whatever feels good. Sit up nice and tall, close those eyes. Big, full, deep breaths in and out through the nose. And we just take a moment. Gratitude in our heart. Clarity of mind. Hopefully feeling calm, relaxed. Yet allowing that energy to move through us freely. We give thanks for taking this time for our well-being inside and out. I want to thank you for joining me today on this journey towards better health. I truly, truly hope you feel amazing and have the best day ever. May you find a smile on your face, and may it stay for the rest of the day. Let's gently open those eyes. Take a big breath in, reach to the sky. And exhale, pull the hands to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me today. Take care of yourselves. Be well. And as always, light and love to you, my friend. Be well. Take care. Namaste.